communicators of color. Every episode focuses on a single point to equip you in one of 4 areas: purpose, writing, speaking, and business. Along the way, I will share stories, lessons, tips, mistakes, and real-time experiences I am learning on my journey as a Christian woman communicator of color. Now let's dive into episode 3. Today's one point is create your own speaking opportunities. Now, when I was a classroom teacher, I had the desire to speak professionally the entire time I was inside the classroom. For most of that 15-year period, I thought opportunities for me to speak were going to fall out of the sky. I was hoping and wishing I would get discovered, or anybody would randomly come and invite me to keynote. Then my mindset changed. I realized nothing was falling from the sky and I needed to create my own speaking opportunities. In saying that, there are 2 things that I began to do that were game changers. The first was seeing my classroom and the students in it as a speaking engagement. Yep, they became my audience from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I realized I needed to put in the same amount of energy into my classroom preparations as I would have done for a speaking engagement. The kids deserved that, but I also reasoned if you can engage elementary school students, you can engage practically anybody. Kids are honest. If you're boring, they're going to let you know. They also have to be evaluated on a consistent basis. So if I taught something ineffectively, that would be pretty obvious. This is why I reasoned if I can be effective in the classroom, I can be effective anywhere. With kids, you need to be prepared, engaged, and creative. Now, I wish I could tell you that I got it right 100% of the time, but the reality is I bombed a lot. But my greatest communication lessons happened in the elementary school classroom. The second thing that I began to do was teach other teachers what I was doing in the classroom. I would research educational conferences, see if those conferences had a call for presenters, and then I would pitch myself as a breakout and keynote speaker. I did this locally and nationally for several years. This taught me the skill of crafting titles and session blurbs for conferences. I still use this skill today for writing and speaking conferences. Honestly, it's difficult to highlight all of the transferable skills that I gained during that time as an elementary school teacher because there are so many. I tried my hand at using humor to communicate, introducing myself creatively, elevator pitches, landing the presentation plane, building an outline, creating presentations, working with organizers and event planners, and communicating my point succinctly. Although that was not the type of speaking I ultimately envisioned myself doing, it was an easy on-ramp to begin sharpening my speaking saw. And most, if not all, of the skills that I learned during that time, I'm still using today. Now, I recognize that many of you may not be classroom teachers and a lot of the information I shared may not be applicable, but I have a few questions that I want you to consider. What would be an easy speaking on-ramp for you? Are there speaking opportunities on your job that you are overlooking? Are you able to consider the speaking that you are currently doing as a consistent engagement that maybe God is using that to prepare you for something in your future? Is there something that you do well that you could teach someone else? And where can you pitch yourself? The reality is, if you are waiting for an opportunity to fall out of the sky, you just may be waiting for the rest of your life. At some point, you need to consider the possibility that you should create your own speaking opportunities. These created opportunities may open the door to additional speaking engagements. In this digital information age, there are so many ways to do that. You can pitch yourself. You can create a podcast or a YouTube channel. You can go live as much as you want to on social media. There are opportunities everywhere. It may not be the type of speaking that you ultimately envision yourself doing, but it may be an easy on-ramp to opportunities that will prove to be invaluable in terms of giving you transferable skills that you can use in the future. Sis, where are you on your communicator journey? If you would like a quick assessment to determine where you need to focus, take my communicator quiz. You can find the link in the description section of this video. Discover where you need to focus as a Christian communicator and join Entrusted Women. Woo, woo, woo. A community of women focused on determining the message we have been entrusted with and the intentional purpose God created us for. Now, next week on the podcast, we're going to talk about the key to discovering a great business idea. And I don't want you to miss it.